What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you are listening to Let's Talk About Your Podcast, where we discuss podcast launch tips. And if you are looking for podcast launch tips, if you're wondering, how do I launch a podcast? How do I start a podcast? I've got the place for you. It's right here, pod pals. Today, we are talking about creating the show that your audience wants. This is a huge podcasting mistake that I see many podcasters make. And, even myself, when I first started with my first health show, I started off just exploring an idea, creating a show that I thought was cool. And then as I got more audience feedback, I dialed it in. Now you can avoid that mistake by following my advice in this episode. So what I want you to do is talk to your ideal listeners. All right. If you are in Facebook groups, if you have any sort of social media following, if you have an email list, before you launch your show, I just want you to talk to some of these people. Blast out an email, a newsletter blast, and have like a little survey, and say, I'm thinking about creating a podcast in this space. What topics would you be interested in? What guests would you be interested in? What pain points in this area would you like this show to help solve? Really get to know your ideal listener, because if you are a podcaster that's just creating out of artistic expression, you don't need to worry about this. Just you do you, boo. You get your stuff out there. It's like a daily journal thing, and you're not really concerned about who's listening in. If you aren't that person, this step is really important, because you create something that you think is cool and nobody else does because it doesn't serve them. If you come from a point of service and going, all right, here's what my ideal listener avatar looks like. Give them a name. All right. Give your ideal listener a name, and just kind of think about that person. Like when you do a solo episode like I'm doing right now, put that avatar in your mind front and center, and that's who you're talking to. Obviously, I've been in the game for 6 years, 600 plus episodes, lots of shows. I talk to podcasters every single day. Anytime I get an opportunity to talk to a podcaster, I'm asking about pain points. What are you struggling with right now? What's going well? What's not going well? And I'm just gathering this data. I really feel dialed in to you, the listener. And that's why when I do these solo episodes like this on this show or on Podcasting Business School, everybody's like, you're in my head, dude. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on this journey just like you. I've walked the same path that you're currently walking. And I want to show you how to get there to where I am a little bit quicker. All right. So you have to absolutely understand your avatar. And then every time you are creating content, create it for them. Your message is going to serve you, but make sure it serves them. That's even more important. So as I create this, we're doing a podcast launch tip series right now with kind of shorter episodes. That's because I got feedback from you all. Like I've kind of explored with interviewing podcasters about their journey and kind of teasing out their best tips. People like that. I'm doing some live podcast launch strategy sessions. People like that. But as I talk to more podcasters, like, can you just give us some quick hitter stuff? Just put it out there, straight fire, straight tips. Just go 5, 6, 7 minutes and on to the next episode. So that's what we're doing. You guys asked me to do this as my listener base. So I'm like, yeah, I'm creating this show for you. So here you go. So hopefully this you feel like this is serving you. So keep those ideal listeners top of mind, and never, ever, ever let one of them escape. If they reach out to you, if they email you back, if they DM you, if you are at a live event and somebody's like, I listened to your show, always, always, always interact with them and ask them like, what's going well, what's not going well. Try to tease out some of those things. Ask them, what should I cover in this show? What would you love for me to cover? What topics, what special guests, what are you really struggling with that I could cover and help solve and make this show like your favorite show ever? Ask those types of questions and then take all that in. Again, that's why I'm doing these shorter episodes, because you asked me to do this as I interact with people that are considering launching a show. All right. So build your show for your ideal listener. Pull up that avatar even before you start to hit that record button and think about, all right, this is the person I'm trying to serve right now. So before I hit record here on StreamYard, I'm thinking, all right, this is somebody that's podcastinating. They've got a really great idea. they feel very passionate about it. They feel confident that they're knowledgeable in that area, or they're very curious about that area. They want to learn more from experts in that area, and they want to bring those conversations to the world. They're also a little bit confused about how to start. There may be a little bit nervous about the tech or the time it's going to take or the money that they're going to have to invest. Like, I understand you. If you are that person that is sitting there thinking all those thoughts, I understand what you're going through, and I'm going to help you go from point A to point B. That's what this show is all about. If you are a podcaster that's already launched and you're like, I'm not growing, I'm not monetizing, if you're doing less than 1,000 downloads per episode, my show, Podcasting Business School, is for you. I make that specifically for you. All right. So think about that. When you hit that record button, speak to serve that specific listener avatar. And it's hard to go wrong with that, Pod Pals. All right. That is it for this quick hitter episode. I hope this served you. If it did, hit me up on Instagram at Podcasting Business School. Let me know how it went. If you have any other questions, like DM me. I really do want to interact. I will always answer. It's always me. I don't have any bot situations. Those annoy the hell out of me. I should do an episode about that. Yes. So if you already launched, if you've been podcastinating, check out my podcast launch blueprint. It's on the main website, podcastingbusiness.school. If you have any questions, hit me up on the IG. If you enjoyed this one, share it out on the IG and tag me, and I'll reshare it for you. All right, Pod Pals, I appreciate you. Just keep that ideal audience member top of mind, because you are always top of mind when I create content. Hopefully that comes through. All right, I'll send you out into the podcasting world. Once again, wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. We will see you on the next episode.